is Saturday, April 3rd. What's good? Welcome into the early edge, powered as always by SportsLine. I am the coach, and we are coming off another incredibly solid day here at the show. All we say is we want to win more than we want to lose, and we did that on Friday, no doubt about it. On our main show, we went 6-2. M Squared went perfect. The site went perfect. Maestro 2-1 on his props, and then our guy Ian Parker. Great MMA episode, Bellator 255. We go 3-1, including a four-way parlay that cashed plus 170 for us. So a great day for us at the show. However, I do need to scold very quickly. For those of you that enter the perfect parlay contest almost every single day, today we would have had two winners. We only had one person who followed instructions, so I'm only giving out one. ISU WBB Fan 13. Here's what you have to do. Go to the comment section in our YouTube page. Follow SportsLine there. And then you leave your best bet. You hit that, one of our cappers, or the site is perfect. Then you're eligible for a year-long subscription to SportsLine. But you have to leave your Twitter handle in your comments, or else we can't get a hold of you. That's all you got to do. Twitter handle, best bet, let's play. All right, it's time for storylines that could affect the betting line. So let's bring in our cappers and say what's good to our guys. M Squared, how you feeling today?
Doing well, Coach. Had some nice bounce back in baseball last night. Two big underdog winners. Feeling good. Really loved the day's games. We got a lot of early baseball, NBA, college basketball, Final Four, obviously. It's going to be a really fun Saturday here.
It's nice when you got the early baseball that rolls into the night basketball so you can spread your plays out just a little bit. I know that's what our guy, the Zach Attack, is doing today. Good morning, Zach.
Good morning, Coach. Early in baseball, lost on the Angels, 1-1 on the year so far, but I'm looking forward to the Final Four. Ready to do it today.
We grind. What does our leader, the Maestro, always say? On to the next. So, storylines today in the NBA. M Squared, the floor is yours.
All right, it's not quite as crazy as last night, but definitely still things to note for the Washington Wizards. Bradley Beal is questionable as they play Dallas. Dallas is on the second night of a back-to-back, only favored by 6 points here. That's something to keep an eye on. That tells me Bradley Beal might potentially be upgraded to probable to play here, but watch that one this afternoon. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jarrett Allen, Larry Nance, both still out in their matchup here today against the Miami Heat. Miami's favored by 11.5. That's kind of the theme here today. We have a lot of double-digit spreads. The Philadelphia 76ers, they might be without Joel Embiid still. He's been upgraded to questionable. He was questionable for the last time. Ricky Rubio is questionable. D'Angelo Russell out for Minnesota. For Orlando, their injury concerns continue. Terrence Ross questionable, Kim Birch questionable, Michael Carter-Williams questionable, Gary Harris still out with the injury, Cole Anthony still out with the injury, but they're relatively thin tonight. And to make matters worse, they have to play the Utah Jazz, another double-digit spread there at 15 points, and that's with Mike Conley listed as doubtful for the Utah Jazz. And then another big situation here, we're going to look at the Indiana Pacers. We talked about them with the Maestro's props yesterday. Domantas Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, Malcolm Brogdon, all three are questionable tonight. This is the second night of a back-to-back on the road against the San Antonio Spurs. That's something you need to keep an eye on there.
I cannot emphasize enough. At Mike5754, hit the follow button on Twitter. If you don't, you're costing yourself money because he updates things throughout the day just for you. All right, let's get into our plays for the day. We're going to start with the SportsLine plays of the day, and we have two for you. We're going right back to the NHL. Cash for us last night with the Oilers. Why not? Let's do it again. Blackhawks plus 105 against the Preds. This is a graded A play at SportsLine, cashing in 58% of our sims. The Preds offense as of late, very lackluster, not very smooth. So I'm taking the Blackhawks all day. Oh, and guess who's back? Kevin Lankinen is back in goal as well. So that's also an uptick for the Blackhawks. So the White Sox, Angels, which side do we like? We don't. We like the total. For those of you who are new, the total means over-under amount of runs combined in the game. We like the White Sox Angels over 9 runs. That's also a graded A play at SportsLine, cashing in 68% of our simulations. First pitch, 9 Eastern tonight. All right, what about our cappers? M Squared, you know the drill. Come on and give it to me.
All right, Coach, let's start with the Final Four. Gonzaga minus 14 against UCLA, and I am laying it with Gonzaga. Chief is back in the air, figured it out with the new audio setup here, but he's made his way. So I love Gonzaga here, actually, minus 14. It's no secret that UCLA has overperformed, obviously, to get to this point, right? They're not a top 30 team in terms of defensive efficiency. We have absolute contrasting styles of play here. We have one of the fastest teams in the country, Gonzaga, rates inside the top 10. And then UCLA is going to rate in the bottom 350. I believe they're 348th in terms of pace of play. Could not be more different. UCLA is going to try to force this into a half-court game, and that's fine, and that will work for maybe 18 minutes of this game. The issue is you can't really play a slow half-court game when you're down by 12 points. It's not going to work in the second half. So I'm going to be laying it with Gonzaga here, minus 14. I love it before this line moves in the market. I do anticipate it a bare minimum to be minus 14.5, likely minus 15 at the close, as this is the night game tonight. So jump on it when you can, but I'm laying it with Gonzaga. And then we're going to move to Major League Baseball. First play for me is going to be the Pittsburgh Pirates, plus 157, another underdog play that I love. This is the reason I love this play so much is it's a very high variance situation. So anytime if you look at a sports book this morning, you likely saw this game didn't have a total listed. And the reason for that is because it's a day game at Wrigley Field with the wind blowing out. Not only is it that, usually this time of year, it's a cold day. Here we have sun, 63 degrees, absolute perfect hitting conditions. That's going to create a lot of variance, especially with Jake Arrieta on the mound. 380 WOBA allowed to left-handed hitters over the last 82 innings that he has pitched. He has struggled giving up the home run ball. I love the high variance situation here. I make the Pirates only plus 132 as I have them winning 43% of the time. I know that sounds weird. Why would I bet on a team that I predict to lose? I'm predicting them to lose this game 57% of the time, not the 62% of the time that's implied by the market. So there's a nice little meaningful edge there in this spot. And then my last play is going to be the Atlanta Braves, minus 111. I like the spot against the Phillies. I think that Zach Wheeler is on the decline. It's kind of evident by his strikeout rate over the last year, really. It's to the point where it's no longer intimidating, especially against the Braves lineup that has a lot of great hitters from top to bottom. On the other side, Charlie Morton, his strikeout rate is continuing to rise at age 37 in his career. He's been very, very good. Not only that, he's a ground ball specialist. If he gets in trouble, he will be able to create double plays with this Phillies offense. Give me the Braves, minus 111.
An absolute, masterclass in describing and breaking down not only basketball, but also our first Final Four game. But there are two Final Four games later this evening, and I'm pretty sure that our guy, the Zach Attack, is on the other. Zach, what do you got?
We're going to start off with Chiefs Dog of the Day with the Houston Cougars plus 5. Yes, I think there's value here based on the Houston Cougars. All 4 wins in the tournament thus far have been against double-digit seeds. You look at Houston, they are an A-grade team on the defensive end of the floor, and I think that's where they're going to give Baylor problems. We saw them against Villanova have issues for 30 minutes, and then they allowed Arkansas back in the game because of their heavy isolation basketball. I think that plays into the hands of the Houston Cougars, and I think it's been a great run for Baylor, 52-6 over the last 2 years, but the warning signs have been there with the way they closed out Big 12 conference play and just the way that they looked. Can't play 40 strong minutes against Villanova and Arkansas. So we'll take Cougars plus 5. And then the NBA player prop, Isaac Okoro over 11.5 total points and rebounds. They're playing the Miami Heat today. Okoro, he really hasn't came close to this type of output, but he did in his last game against the Philadelphia 76ers, in which he had 9 points and 5 rebounds. You look who came back in that game, Matthew Dellavedova and Kevin Love, both after being out for multiple months. The game before that, Taurean Prince came back. So I think with better players on the floor, Okoro will be able to have a better output and performance to close out the year. And over his last 14 games, he's reached double figures just 3 times. One of those performances was against the Miami Heat.
I love those little nuggets. It makes me say, put up that prop right now. Put up the props. Usually those props in the NBA, don't tweet at us because you do it all the time. Usually don't come until into the afternoon. All right, we are up against it. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here we go. Thank you, jeweler. M squared, 3 plays for him. Gonzaga. It's a big number, but remember how many games in a row they have won by double digits. This is the play. Pirates in baseball, plus 157 against the Cubs. That's a 2:20 Eastern first pitch. And then the Braves, minus 111 at the Phillies, 4:05 Eastern is the first pitch. All right, and the Zach Attack. He's on Houston, plus 5 in the Final Four. That cashes at SportsLine 59% of the time. And then Isaac Okoro, over 11.5 total points and rebounds. That's an 8 Eastern tip. And then our SportsLine plays of the day, the Blackhawks plus 105 and our White Sox Angels over 9 runs as well. And our Jewelers Gym, our daily parlay. If you parlay Houston plus 5, Gonzaga minus 14, a $100 play is going to return $264. So that is our Jewelers Gym parlay of the day. You've got your marching orders. Oh, I love Saturdays like this. What could be any better? Let's take all these tickets straight to the pay window for the Zach Attack. Great delivery on Chief's Dog of the Day. For Chief, for M Squared, for the Jeweler, I'm the coach. Time to settle in. This is the only place for your daily early edge. Good luck.